week later, she did a reading for a friend, and she had posted the cards for it, and she was trying to get to why the friend was not getting what she wanted out of life, and the Nine of Diamonds came up, and she was going for trying to get a deeper understanding, and was getting hung up on what the Nine of Diamonds was telling her. And I said, do you remember when this came up for a storm? And she says, yeah. And I said, this woman is out of control and stormy in her emotions, and they always get the best of her. And she says, oh my God, that's exactly that's her. That's exactly what she does. So the deck had actually made an agreement with her. And she said, well, this is representing the storm. And then when it came up again in another context, she'd forgotten that she had already come up with that realization. And it still applied, only on another level.
And expect meanings to change over time, because images, pieces, bones, no matter what they are, they have their own life. They have their own voice, and sometimes they will turn around down the line and say, you know what, I don't mean this anymore. This is what it is now.
That's very true, and not a lot of people talk about that. My master said that to me once. He taught me how to make an oracle from dice using a plant. He said, talk to the plant and have the plant tell you what they mean. And then when I came up with the meanings, he's like, now be aware that your understanding may change over time, and they may change. And I think that's a good point, because not a lot of people bring that point up. And they say, no, it's the way it's got to always be.
It's like a person. I mean, you're dealing with a spirit, or a being, whatever you want to call it, in every deck or in every divination system.
Sure.
And just like people, we grow, we learn, we expand, we change. We change our views, we change our thought processes, we change what things mean to us. We have to expect the same of whatever we use for divining.
That's right. That's right. Did you ever, I'm sure you've had the experience, and others have had the experience, where certain decks, certain oracles, they'll give you different meanings for the same kinds of things.
Yes.
So for example, like spades in one of my deck, there's one particular being that in the one deck, he uses spades specifically to suggest success and power. And when the more spades, the better the situation. And in another deck, the spades come up suggesting limitations to the mind if you're not careful. So they're they're different. They're different. And when more spades come up in the other deck, it's like, oh God, things aren't going to move as fast here. And in the other one, it's like, wow, this is all going to come through successfully. So you have to be sensitive to what the particular oracle is telling you too. And that only comes from practice.
And that can happen with the same exact deck, because I've done readings where a particular card will have one meaning, and the very next client, that card may come up again, and it's totally different as to what it means pertaining to that client.
Or you look at them and you go, okay, this is what the deck is saying, but that's not what's going to happen. And you're like, no, this is what it says, but that's not what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen for you. And you have to be, and after enough time, you get confident enough to be able to say that. I said, well, this would line up to mean this, but that's not what it means. This is really what the outcome is going to be.
And you always have to listen.
And you have to remember that the advice is just like the advice from a friend. It's not necessarily, you don't necessarily take everything word. You have to trust yourself enough to go, okay, well, I've got the advice now. How do I want to proceed?
Exactly. I mean, if somebody tells you not to drive home the same way you always go, you have two choices. You take the information in, you say, okay, well, I can drive home the same way and see what's going to happen, or maybe I'll bypass it altogether and take a different route. Either way, I'm still going to get home.
Which one would you do? Would you be curious, or would you take the other way? What would you?
I'm a Scorpio.
Okay, so
I'd go the same way.
Go the same way and probably go off the cliff in the meantime. And and blame someone else for it.
I blame my reader. No. So before we wind down, why don't you tell everybody how they can get a hold of you? Should they want a reading, take classes, buy cards? I mean, I know you have books out as well. How would they reach you?
The easiest way is just to email me or text me or phone me. They can always go through my Facebook too if they have the link on here. But my number is 779-302-8009. And then you can email me, conjurehope, that's CONJUREHOPE @gmail.com. And then we can just talk about what it is you're looking for.
And before we close for the night, I also want to make mention of, an event coming up in April, the Big Apple Conjure, which you can find information out about on bigappleconjure2018.com, as well as my friend's show, It's 12 O'Clock Somewhere, with Candelo Cambisa and Robert Lucas of Ancestor Healing, also on Spreaker. Would you like to say our final goodbyes for the day?
I would like to say our final goodbyes for the day.
All right, I guess I'll be doing it.
Is that anticlimactic?
I want to thank everybody for joining us for a wonderful show and for our incredible guest today. Till next week, have a beautiful day and God bless.
Todas las